Let's talk today about how to drop more high kill games in solos, and we're going to do that while actually breaking down a high kill solos game that I had myself. I dropped 21 kills right here, so I'm going to be giving you a bunch of tips and strategies, plus we'll get to actually see how they play out in game. Now, there's four main things that we're going to be talking about paying attention to today: information, execution, rotations, and positioning. Reason being is those four things are very different in solos compared to duos, trios, and quads, and we'll really get into that in a little bit. But starting off here early game, Observatory, you can see it right here, is of course going to be the hot drop. Observatory's hot, Hydroelectric is hot, Al-Mazrah City's hot. I tend to like to land here because I can pick up a few kills while getting cash to then buy my primary and buy a UAV. That's my whole goal, is to kind of get that momentum going. You can 100%, there's nothing wrong with you landing on a safecracker or bounty contract and starting your game that way to get cash up. But we're lucky enough to get a UAV, and now we're just going to pop and look at all the action around us. We've got four people. Obviously, everybody's an individual right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to wait for this guy. We're going to play a little bit of positioning. Now we can go ahead and challenge. Now, this is where I talk about solos being a little bit different, guys. When we have information, we want to be acting on concrete information as much as possible. Right here, I've got UAV up. I know exactly what level everybody's on. I'm acting on concrete information. We're going to see that a lot throughout this game, instead of just wandering, which is where a lot of you get stuck. Once you have that concrete information, it comes down to anticipation and execution. As I push through this door, I am completely ready for that guy, and the TTK takes over. There's nothing he can do. Now, I know that there's still people over to my right side here. We're just going to try to figure out how we can get to the rooftop potentially, see if we can find an angle to challenge this guy. And as I push across, I end up getting shot a little bit. Not a problem. We just go ahead and get inside here, and then we can start to plate up. And this is where we talk about the re-engage, guys. This is where solos is a little bit different than duos, trios, and quads. If this is quads right now, I have to be worried about getting 4 stacked, right? In solos, I only have to worry about one person. As soon as I get full plated, like, I'm ready to go challenge this guy again and figure out where he is, because it's just a one-on-one fight. Who sees the other person first? Who anticipates better? Who hits the higher damage areas? Who can win more gunfights? Which, if you're struggling to win gunfights, I'm going to put my warm-up video down in the comments below for you. This way you can check that out as well. But that's what it really comes down to. So first thing that we're talking about, acting on concrete information. Notice that right here, I don't really have anything to act on, besides there are some people around me. The other thing that I will say that's tough with Warzone 2 is lack of audio. That's going to make it really tough in Warzone 2 because we can't rely on what we're hearing around us. We can't rely on those footsteps. So I am playing a little bit of positioning right here. Positioning matters, and again, we'll talk about this throughout the game with each individual fight that I take. Positioning matters a lot less until we get to that end game, which end game in solos gets absolutely hectic. Right here, as I said, guys, just no audio whatsoever. I'm going to die right here. I'm not going to hide it. I just don't hear him at all. So that's a little bit of an unfortunate situation. There's not a whole lot I can do. So let's go ahead. I'm going to fast forward through Gouge, guys. If you are struggling in Gouge, obviously I win this because I'm playing solos. But if you are struggling in Gouge, I'll leave that video down for you in the comments below. Now, right here, we're going to go grab Bounty. Real quick, by the way, if you are looking to get better at Warzone 2, make sure you are subscribed. I do videos just about every single day trying to help you improve. But let's talk about bounty contracts here. Let's do quick gameplay strategy. I do not like strongholds in solos. I know it's tempting. It could depend on your lobby strength and your SBMM. My bots in my lobby are insane, and they absolutely will kill you. So I tend to shy away from that a little bit. It is very difficult to get that loadout in solos. So instead, I'm more focusing on finding a decent secondary, getting enough cash to buy my primary, my RPK. Put the RPK build down in the comments for you, and then starting to pop UAVs, grab bounties. But bounty contracts are absolutely going to be meta, especially in solos. As I continue to say, if you've been here before, it solves our biggest problems. Our 3 issues, right? How do we get higher kill games? How do we even figure out where people are? And how do we actually get cash? Well, bounty contract is going to give away where somebody is. I can go push that to get a kill. And once I get that kill, I'm going to be able to get cash flow, which allows me to buy guns, buy UAVs, and whatnot. So right here, I just need to get a little bit comfortable with the guns that I have. I don't want the recon, really. That gun's not very good. But I do have the AK-74U. So I have a little bit of confidence to challenge right here. Also, I fast-forwarded past the Gouge. I did grab a 3-plate in the gulag, so that's how I'm able to have the 3-plate vest already. Now we're going to go ahead and fly over to bounty, right? I've got a 3-plate vest and I got a cast off. I've got concrete information roughly around where this guy is, right? I don't know the exact pinpoint location of where he is, but I've got a pretty good general idea of where he is in relation to me on the map. And as you get closer, you can start to use deductive reasoning to figure out where he most likely is. Now, right there, we've got $4,600. Now we have enough for a UAV. So this is where I differ my gameplay strategy a little bit. I've got a TAC 56 and a Cast-Off 74U. Today's video is all about getting higher kill games. If you are looking to just pick up more wins, you could absolutely loot a little bit, you know, grab a little bit more cash, get your primary gun. But I'm feeling good with the Cast-Off. I'm feeling good with the TAC 56. I know it's solos. Let's go and grab a UAV here. Let's grab UAV. That gives away 2 people right here. So we're at 2 kills, 85 other people. Not off to a good start, but we'll get this momentum rolling and we'll really get into it. So this guy's on my level right here. We can go ahead and just push across. We got to be really careful around this corner. And this is where I talk about, guys, that positioning matters a little bit less in solos. If you have confidence in your execution and you anticipate well, execution meaning aim and movement even matters less in this game, but right here, I'm just going to challenge this guy. I'm not too concerned. I'm just going to throw the stun in. I don't hit anything, right? That guy's camping in the corner. He has nothing that he can actually do because I get that first shot. But he was hiding because of this enemy right here. This enemy is going to be a little bit better of a player. You're going to run into this in solos, but my execution is better, so I'm able to win this gunfight. I'm able to win that gunfight, even though if it's just barely. Now I'm okay. Not only am I okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab this Fennec right here, and now I'm really rocking and rolling in solos. You know, 30-round Fennec, I mean, that's basically all I need. We also have enough cash right here to now go buy a primary gun. So this is where when we talk about this cash flow component that, look, all I did was pick up 2 kills there, and I now have enough money just from other people to buy my primary gun, and then we can start to figure out what's next. So when it comes down to those 4 main things, we're going to, again, haven't really done much. We've got 17 more engagements that we're going to be taking a look at here, and let's talk about this next rotation. This is actually a big one right here, because when we're rotating, we're looking to always rotate based on information. I'm looking to rotate to where I think people are going to be. Now, in this case right here, I marked the bounty contract. It's also in hydroelectric. Go back to how I started this video saying hydroelectric tends to be a hotter area. So there's a higher likelihood that I'm going to find somebody over here, which, you know, let's do a little foreshadowing. I do. So we're going to use a vehicle, guys. I think vehicles are crucial, especially in solos. People are very spread out. You've got to constantly be looking for people. You've got to drive to contracts. You've got to drive to buy stations, which allows you to pop UAVs. It allows you to rotate a little bit safer. You're not caught out in the open, which I'm going to do that to a bunch of people right here. And you're going to see exactly how I use the car to my advantage. So once again, we're going to start working over to this bounty contract. First thing that I'm going to do, though, is I'm actually going to trade the car. I love the Hummer, guys. The Hummer is super smooth. It handles really well. Gives you a little bit more cover than this vehicle. And we are actually going to smoke somebody out of one of those vehicles with an RPK here in a little bit. Now, as I'm pushing over right here, when we talk about concrete information, I'm actually going to get shot at. That guy's going to shoot at me right there. I just barely heard him. You get a little bit of screen tearing, but here he is right here. And this is where we talk about, once again, just the execution component. I actually don't get a good jump on this guy with the RPK, but because I hit all high damage areas, right, that's all headshots, I'm able to win that gunfight. I'm able to get that kill right there. Now, we're going to go ahead. Let's talk about this play, guys. Don't oversell for the thirst, okay? I want to get the thirst. I need to get the thirst. But let's assume there is a third party. We don't have to worry about teammates, right? We're not in quads here worrying about 3 other teammates. But what I'm going to end up doing right here is I'm going to switch to the Fennec, and I'm going to work towards cover a little bit, right? So I'm going to work into cover right here. I know that's a team wipe, right? I'm not worried about anybody else on that team. I'm worried about other players that are going to start pushing me. And look, I throw the portable radar down. Don't see anything, so we know we're at least okay for a second. By the way, I do have a durable gas mask already, which is nice. Now we're going to go ahead and quickly loot. I could have absolutely grabbed the car and used that as cover, but notice right here. Pick up 2,500. Now we have enough for a UAV. So we're going to throw this thing in reverse, and let's go ahead and pop a UAV. Now, this is a really good situation when it comes to, like, positioning and how I approach fights. Notice that there's 2 people over here. So we're going to mark where they are on the map. And so far, guys, right, everything that I've been acting on has been concrete. Even that last situation where I took out the guy that challenged me first, I knew where he was, which allows me to challenge. We're going to mark that guy, and then we're going to go challenge the one that's a little bit closer. Now, I do still play a little bit more cautious here. This isn't a constant full send and a constant, like, it's a one-on-one fight and I'm just better than you. I am still playing this a little bit strategic, trying to get a sense of where this guy might be, playing the rooftop a little bit. I see that he's on my level, so I know that he's on this 3rd floor right here. And as I drop down, he's actually going to be on my level, right? So he flipped right there a little bit. I get nothing on the snapshot. As we push in, he's going to be camping in the corner. Now, this is where we talk about, this is super important because I think a lot of you guys struggle with this, is people camping in corners. I know that he is in this building, and notice that as I turn this corner, he just happens to be looking the wrong way. I'm still going to be able to win that gunfight with a little bit of movement and the fact that I have the Fennec. But it's all about that anticipation around the corner. Now, right here, I'm just going to go speed this up a little bit because I am playing positioning in this very moment. I'm trying to see exactly where he is. I thought he was over in this building. Can't quite find him, so we're just going to play rooftop, guys. This is where I don't really know where he is, so we're just going to play a little bit of positioning here for a second, and what we end up catching is he's pushing across the street right here. So let's go ahead and we're going to tag. We're not going to shoot yet. We're going to keep our element of surprise. He doesn't know that I'm over here, so we're just going to try to catch him by surprise, but we are going to push. Once again, the important thing here is to anticipate. I don't have any snapshots, unfortunately, and I'm assuming that he's going to push into this building. That's a very logical push for this guy to be making, to go from one building to this building right here. Trying to see if he popped in the water. Of course, I don't have audio, so I can't hear anything. And you're going to get a mix of these players. Obviously, we had the sweaty player early, and right there, he hit shots, but I just execute a little bit better, guys. When we talk about execution, this is what I mean. Watch the strafing as I'm shooting. You know, I have the Fennec. I get off to a bad start right there, but I'm hitting headshots and I'm strafing to the right. He's missing bullets to my left. So just that little bit of strafe right there allows me to take less damage, allows me to win that gunfight. And that's the difference with solos versus duos, trios, and quads. Duos, trios, and quads, I have to play a little bit slower because I've got to worry about that next teammate, right? If I get broken and that next teammate is close by, I'm going to end up getting smoked. In solos, I'm not too concerned about that. I've just got to be aware that there always could be a third party. So let's go ahead, grab the Hummer again. I think do we grab the Hummer? Yeah, we do. We grab the Hummer. We don't have any cash flow right here. So let's go ahead. And then what ends up happening is we go to mark the bounty, and I see one flying in right on me right here. So once again, we've got 7 kills, acting on concrete information. This is where I use my car as cover, right? So I'm going to use my car right there to just peek behind to switch to the RPK, and now it's all about execution. Right? I'm just able to hit shots right there. You've got to be able to execute and be able to get that down. Now, unfortunately, can't get the thirst. He's got self-revive. Pretty much everybody has self-revive in this game. So watch as we push up here. I know he's going to be low health. I hear him right above me. Look at the centering and how careful I am, right? I'm making sure that in this moment, as I turn this corner, I have my crosshairs out. Do not get caught in a tack sprint just running up the stairs here. With the TTK, you will absolutely die to a good player. Instead, I've just got my crosshairs out. That's a pretty easy one right there. Now we're going to go ahead. We've got enough cash here. So we're just going to go ahead and keep pushing. Back in the car we go. And my thought process is I never want to leave the car, guys. Right? So I never want to leave the car. As I'm pushing over to get back in the car, I see that guy right there. So we're once again going to use the car for cover. I can challenge this guy. He's barely done any damage to me, right? There's no reason to drive away and be scared here. I'm just going to flip to my RPK. I'm going to use this. And now I have the advantage. He's broken. I'm not. He can't plate while sprinting. By the way, I just want to talk about a little 500 IQ play right here. Watch me anticipate where he's going to go. Instead of just pushing into that building, right? Is he more likely to push into the building or push around the building? Well, it's tough to say, but if I clear around the building and he's not here, well, now I know exactly where he is. So this is a little bit of execution right here. We break the door, then we're able to barely get him on the last bullet, which, hey, sometimes we'll take it. And notice, guys, I still have a full plate left. That actually felt like I took a lot of damage in that scenario. 9 kills. We're lucky enough to get a UAV right there, but even if I didn't, like, I still have enough cash. So now let's go ahead and we're actually going to rotate over on foot. I did rotate over on foot on this one. I'm not sure. I think I just reacted a little bit too quick to people being over this way. And so we're going to go ahead and try to see what we can find here. I know that there's one out in the middle of the open somewhere. I know there's one on the buy station. So I'm trying to keep track of all 3 enemies. This is why this is so important, guys. If you know that one is right here, you know that one's on the buy station and one's over to your right side here. As soon as you get this kill, you can focus on the guy on the buy station. As soon as you kill the guy on the buy station, you can then rotate over to this guy right here. Now, they may have moved, but you at least know the general area where you can start looking to see where they are. Now, this guy was just kind of laying prone out in the middle. You know, this is part of having 150 people in the lobby. Look at the strafing, by the way, guys. Again, just to avoid the sniper shot. Look how much I'm strafing back and forth. Controller players, that increases your aim assist. If I could have you do 2 movements to focus on, two big movement takeaways. And by the way, I pull back here because of circle pull. So 2 big movement takeaways: dolphin diving because it resets your tac sprint, which it didn't with the Fennec right there. And then strafing while shooting because that increases your aim assist. Now notice the car right here. That's going to give away information. We just fry this guy with the RPK. That's where I said that car is not very safe. So that's a pretty easy kill for me right there. Once we get the thirst after the down. Did I kill? Oh, now he's dead. Now he's dead. So we're on 11 kills right here. We're off to a really good start. Still got plenty of time. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. And we do have enough money for a UAV. Now, I know that the UAV did not reset at this buy station, right? So this is just all little things that we remember, guys. This is just all little things. I think I actually am going to check it. Yeah, I do check it. And I'm like, no. Okay, so it's not there. I buy just enough plates to make sure that I still have enough for a UAV. And then I actually don't even rotate back to the Hummer. I just rotate into this car. Now, let's talk about using vehicles in this next scenario. What's going to end up happening is here, we're going to pop UAV. By the way, I hear enemy UAV overhead right there. So as I'm pushing up to this one, what I'm looking for is this buy station open? If this buy station is open, there's a chance that this player is here, right? If it's not open, that means nobody's hit it thus far. So just a little takeaway kind of when it comes to awareness right there. Pay attention if buy stations are open or not. You know, I also know that there's a UAV. So we're going to go ahead and push this guy back behind. That's a cross in hydroelectric. Now, when we talk about using cars to your advantage, this right here is a very, very aggressive play, but it works like a charm. Essentially, what's going to happen in here is I know that I'm going to challenge this guy. He is right there. 99.9% of the time, when I get out of this vehicle and start to shoot this guy, he is going to follow the car, right? Because he thinks that I'm going to keep driving. Watch. Look where he's shooting, right? He's shooting a full LMG RAL, and the guy's got no chance. And I took a little bit of damage there. It's an aggressive play. Better players will be able to adjust for that, but it's very difficult to adjust for that. I will tell you that. Even as a good player myself, it's hard to make that adjustment. Now, once again, let's not go anywhere without the car, especially because of this rotation being out in the open. And we are starting to think about endgame right here. This is where we start to slow down for solos and play a little bit more positioning. Gotten off to a good start so far. We set ourselves up to get a lot of kills during endgame, or put ourselves in a position to get the 20 bomb with the endgame. We're going to grab that bounty. Now, I actually decided not to push bounty right here. When we talk about concrete information, I think I went back and forth on this one, but I actually decided that I knew there were people rotating, and I don't know if I agree with this in hindsight. I have concrete information. I don't agree with this in hindsight because I know that I don't get any kills here, and I'm just going to speed this up to 3x so you see how it plays out. I thought there were people over here. I thought there were people that would be rotating in from, you know, Al Mazrah City and kind of the outskirts of the city. So I'm just trying to see what I can find. And notice how far they have to get. Like, they have to cross over this way, and they are completely out in the open. They've got to cross over to my left. I don't get anything, which I was shocked about. So that's one where, like, I could have 100% acted on the bounty information and just decided to go that route and said, look, I've got this information. Let's go ahead and act on it. Now, once again, right here, guys, using the car as cover, this guy's going to shoot at me right here, acting on concrete information. Concrete information, I know exactly where I'm getting shot from. You see it right here, that little notification. So I'm going to fling the car out. We're going to quick swap, and then we just got to fry him. Now, the one mistake that I made here, guys, if we were to pull this back, be a little bit more cautious, especially if you don't have your RPK out or your primary, about throwing the car too far. If the car had stopped right here and I could use this as cover, I'd be in a much safer position. If this guy's looking at me with an LMG, and what ended up happening is he knew he was caught out in the open here, which always pay attention to your cover. That's a great example of why you shouldn't rotate on foot. If he has an LMG out and he has a little bit of cover, I'm in a really bad spot right there. But that's his own fault for rotating on foot. I would always recommend using cars. Now, when you are using cars, understand that people know where you are. They're likely to shoot at you, but they may not shoot at you and just kind of wait for you to get caught in a bad spot. So you do have to be aware of that. Notice here, a lot of open area, but I've got a car. Like, I'm in no danger here of getting shot or taken out, and it just puts me in a really good position. I'm trying to figure out which building I want to take. I'm actually not 100% sure, and then I go, okay, whoa. Let's go backwards. Yep, I'm trying to see. I see that guy straight across. He's floating on the roof a little bit, and then he drops back inside. And notice that I do get in cover, right? Exactly what I just said. Everybody knows where I am. So the last thing I need is a guy shooting me in the back because he saw me rotate up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and rotate back up the hill here. I'm going to go ahead and get up to a better spot. And this is where we start to play positioning. Notice up until this point, I have not played positioning, right? It's all just been pushing people, acting on information that I have, and using that to my advantage. And if I don't have all of those moments where people are shooting at me or bounty contracts or anything like that, you should just be trying to, well, I guess I had a few bounty contracts, but always look for more bounty contracts. Always try to get UAVs, drive to different buy stations. Anytime you're close to a buy station, try to buy a UAV. And then this guy, once again, just caught out in the open. Guys, this is why I tell you not to rotate. I don't even hit, my shots aren't that good there. I miss shots right there. It does not matter. It doesn't matter because there's nothing he can do. So let's go ahead. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. I think we're going to challenge this next guy here in a second. And I'm just trying to see what I can find, right? I'm just in a good position. There's still 22 other people. And what I'm focusing on, guys, here is what buildings are people in and where are people rotating from, right? So I've already killed a few people over this way, but there's potentially more. There's potentially more down the hill that I'm thinking about. And I end up seeing one on the roof here in a second. He's going to be right in front of me. There he is. So now we're just going to go ahead. And we got jailbreak, by the way, which is absolutely insane. I don't know how many people came back, to be honest with you. Can we get the down? Yes, we can. And by the way, make sure you have self-revives, please. Just in case some crazy stuff happens like this. This stuff happens in Warzone. Like, I precision the building. I know that it hits a little bit in front, but thankfully I have a self-revive, and I'm at least in an okay spot. And that guy died there. So unless I get shot in the back, you know, I'm still okay. And by the way, notice I do have another self-revive in my backpack. Like I said earlier, guys, if you are looking to get better and you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed down below. I appreciate you making this far. And if you are subscribed, of course, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And let me know down in the comments below things you're struggling on. Let me know what you're struggling with. I've got a ton of video ideas, but sometimes I need to hear it directly from you, what you're really having problems with in this game. Now, we're trying to see what we can find. I know that I got to rotate in. So we had about 4 or 5 players come back right there. And all of a sudden, now we're back down to 23, just like that, because people get fried out of the sky. So we're going to play this building right here, and I need to get in the building and then figure out what's going on around me. I don't want to be too over-aggressive, because if I'm too over-aggressive and I get caught out in the open, I end up going down to somebody that's sitting in a building. So that's where I'm always thinking about my cover. If you are focusing on information and cover, very rarely should you get caught in a spot where you're getting killed by a camper in a corner. Now, I am going to clear this building right here. Like, I'm still going to clear it. Yep, watch me clear it. Yep, there's that guy. So if he had challenged me, like, I probably could have been in a bad spot, but he didn't, and he's just sitting in the corner. And that's a guy that I think a lot of you die from. I think a lot of you die here because you don't check this, right? I'm checking to see what I can find. I do check around that corner. Boom. He's dead right there. And now we can go ahead and check up top as well. Don't just assume there's nobody else in this building, especially in solos. You can have 2 passionate gamers, one camping up top, one camping down below, and all of a sudden you get killed by the other one. And that is a little bit of foreshadowing because there's going to be one up top here in a second. Yep, trying to see what I can find. Guy right there. As we push in, we've got to be really careful, though. I'm expecting this guy to challenge right here. One-on-one fight. We're going to play the door. Why do I play the door? Because he's got to make a decision. Is he going to check the right side of me, or is he going to check the left side of this door? Well, he's probably going to check the right side, and I'm going to be able to hear him or see him, and then I can challenge him right there. Always make sure you shut doors behind you. Just a little tip. Just like I said, anticipate that guy. We're going to throw the Semtex, and now we can really keep the pressure on. This play I absolutely love, guys, because while solos is very different than duos, trios, and quads, especially during these end games, you always have to anticipate another enemy. Always anticipate the third party. You're going to see that play out right here. I keep the pressure on. I hear the guy shooting me with the RAW, so I end up pushing into cover before I get the thirst. Switching to the RPK, that allows me to take out this enemy right here. So I get a little, not lucky there, that it's an IQ play of just being ready for that next enemy, especially because he's already shooting and he has to rotate. He has to rotate to me. There we can get the second one. There's kill number 1. There's kill number 2. We've got 18 kills, 11 other people. So far, when we look at this game, like, I don't think I'm doing anything in this game that you couldn't do. Maybe it's the execution part. Maybe it's a little bit of the information, but the information that I've been acting on hasn't been too crazy. We talk about a little bit of anticipation in buildings, but it's all about understanding where people are and not wandering, trying to take in as much information as possible, trying to get kills based on that information that we have as quickly as possible, and then going to the next spot, trying to remove that wandering component. Now, right here, we're in the building. Notice we are going to clear this. I'm not just going to assume that nobody's in here because, again, this is a situation where there's a guy camping in a corner and you get killed because you don't check it. This guy right here, once again, in the car, dead, absolutely smoked, 19 kills, 9 other people still alive right here. We're going to slow down this end game. I thought I heard one blow, so we're just trying to see what we can find. We're trying to keep the pressure on a little bit, especially with the Fennec. If a guy's a bullet, we can easily get that kill. And by the way, I did see this guy right up here. I did see there. I saw the one right up top here, which is why I peek away so quick. Boom. We peek away. We don't have to go anywhere just yet. Let's see where circle pulls. Right here, I'm just waiting for this next circle, and I know that I don't get a good circle pull. Now, as I go to precision that guy, I end up getting that knock right there, and this is where this is where Warzone 2 solos gets very dicey during these end games. So I unfortunately cannot get that thirst. So I'm going to reload. I save the precision airstrike for now. I'm going to hear shooting straight ahead of me, so we're going to take that guy out, who, by the way, rotating out in the open. Not my problem. That's why I don't rotate out in the open, although I can't get a car here. But that guy's rotating with literally no cover. I at least have a little bit of cover. I've got this corner. I've got this wall right here. I can, of course, try to get into this building. So we're going to precision the building, try to see what we can find. We've got 20 kills. We've got 7 spectators. We got 6 other enemies still alive. I hear shooting up the hill here, so I know that there's one up the hill. I see this guy straight ahead here in a second, or I hear him. I'm in a really tough spot here. They're shooting straight ahead. We're going to go ahead and get that kill right there. We get the down. We take him out with the thirst so that we can push forward and, of course, not have to worry about him. 4 other enemies, and as I'm rotating up, I just make a little bit of a mistake right here. I just challenged this guy with the Fennec. He hit really good shots. Nothing I can do right there. Well, I actually could have. I should have used durable. I should have used durable and pushed all the way around probably here and kind of committed to it a little bit earlier. As soon as I get this kill, and the reason I tell you that, guys, is because when you look at 4 enemies left, and we really break down this end game, right? So if we go back to here, there's one in this building, which is the corner of here that has to rotate in. And I want you to think about numbers right here. So let's kill this guy, right? So right here, we've got 4 other enemies alive. We know that one is in this building. We know that one is up the hill, right? So we know where 2 of them are. If you were to rationally think and go, okay, where are these other enemies? Well, you got to assume that they're on this side of the circle. I've pretty much cleared here, right? I've pretty much cleared out this side, although there could be a straggler back in this building right here. Keep in mind, I got that down that I couldn't thirst. There was also the guy that was sitting on the rooftop. So there 100% could be somebody still in here. There's also probably one rotating in this way. So I just get caught a little bit. I wanted to get to that building, and I don't know if I saw... Oh, I did see him there. And I just get caught without my crosshairs out, guys. That's the only issue. This is where we talk about first shot. In this game, it's really, really about who gets that first shot, and he does a lot of damage before I do anything to him. So, end up going down right there. Really unfortunate situation. Always think about your power position. Always think about where your cover is, and try to rotate early if you can. If you can't rotate early, try to commit to that gas mask. So, I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.